Well, I'm gonna leave that in. I just completely threw the camera. So yeah. What is going on, YouTube? Regret C6 back. It's a little bit different style video for you guys today. I'm over at my one of my really good friends' house, Nick Lang. He's doing a really cool conversion on his old C20. It's now going to be a C10 short bed, and he's doing it from the frame up in his garage, like super cool, super legit. Not low budget, but like just, you know, everyday working class kind of guy budget. So without further ado, I'm gonna introduce Nick, and we're gonna go through like from front to back what he's already done, and then give you guys like what to order if you guys want to do this swap, part numbers, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, just leave the comments below and we'll get back to you on that. Without further ado, here we go. Nick, what's going on, man?
What's happening?
So I was telling everybody, this is your C20 long bed, now C10 short bed. And you've obviously done a lot to it. The whole frame has been worked and painted, and you got a bunch of cool parts on it, so I figured we'd do a video on it.
Okay, sounds good. So this was a 71 C20 I bought very cheap on Facebook Marketplace. Actually, it wasn't Facebook Marketplace. Another friend of ours, Parker, saw it and sent me pictures of it with a phone number written on the side of it. It was total super weird thing, but I bought the truck for I think $1,200 about a year ago. I was able to drive it home, had almost no brakes. I did brakes on it and stuff, and then about 30 or 40 miles into actually driving it, the cam in the motor, the flat tappet cam, went flat on me and started making horrible noise. So I decided, while I'm here,
while you're in there,
might as well do everything.
Yeah.
And that's how I guess I ended up where this is. Yeah.
All right, so you said you shortened the frame, right? Because it was a long bed, now it's a short bed.
So this was a long bed, 8-lug truck, and since I decided I was going to take it all the way apart, I decided I was going to undercoat the bottom of the cab, clean the frame up and paint it. You know, I thought, while I'm here, is the time to make this a proper muscle truck if I'm ever going to. So to turn it into a short bed, you've got to cut 12 inches out of the middle of the truck and 8 inches off the rear. The same amount comes out of the front of the bed and the rear of the bed. For this project, due to the condition of the bed, it was a wood floor bed, I really want a metal bed, a few things, I'm going to end up with a bed kit instead of cutting it down. But for the frame, pretty straightforward. I made a Z-cut that was 24 inches long, where you're basically making two L shape and an inverted L shape. 12 inches comes off of each of them. You put it together, the frame is now 12 inches shorter. There's lots of videos on YouTube how to do that. I really liked the Z-cut. And then these plates are actually part of a Brothers kit, which would simply be a bolt-on shortening kit. I really didn't care for that, so I welded these plates on. I've perimeter welded and plug welded it. As you can see, I'm not the world's best welder, but this was welded with flux core and it was welded real hot, so I'm very confident in it. And I got a nice flat finish, really without pinholes.
Yeah, on the outside you can't even really tell. Like on this side, it's painted. You can't even tell that you took a giant chunk out of the frame.
I spent a lot of time measuring. I just used some vice grips and stuff, some vice grips and angle iron, really, to make sure everything was pretty much flat before I did it. If you know where it is, you can feel just a little bit of a ripple on each side where the
just a tiny bit right there. You can barely even see it.
But the frame is the same length on each side. I measured from some controller mounting holes to this bracket on each side, and it's within a 32nd of an inch.
That's pretty good.
One side, I don't recall which side now, one side is longer than the other by
a 32nd?
About a 32nd, or maybe just shy of that. So I'm happy with that. I don't think it's going to be noticeable at all.
No, yeah, I would say not. Okay, and then the C20s have a big, obviously, heavy-duty rear axle. You got rid of that, and then now you have ladder bars like a regular C10 would, right?
Basically, so this was a leaf sprung truck. Some C20s would have come with the coil spring truck armed NASCAR style suspension like this.
Okay.
These are the C10s that NASCAR robbed for the early like truck arm style suspensions.
Okay.
Is this generation C10. But I want to do a 5-lug conversion, and I wanted this thing to ride decently, especially since I was doing the shortening and muscle truck thing. So a friend of mine, Craig LaPresti, the Craig 909 on YouTube, gave me these truck arms, which were super cool. And I bought this bracket. It's an eBay special. But
eBay special. Okay.
pretty happy with the quality of it.
I mean, it's solid. It's nice. Drive
Yeah.
shaft, hoop, everything.
It looks good.
You got adjustable for the ladder bars and everything.
Yeah. So
Hell yeah.
I've been told to put it on the lowest hole for to get it to hook up.
Lowest hole.
I don't
Okay.
think I'm gonna have a lot of trouble getting it to hook up. That's the drivetrain, but I guess we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. It's over there. You guys can't peek in the corner.
Yeah, but it's super mild. Super mild.
Just needs a turbo.
The rear end is a 8.8 out of, I think it's a late 90s Ford Explorer.
Okay, Ford Explorer. Got
Disc
it.
brakes, 373s, posi.
That's all you need.
Pretty happy with it. It is actually a posi. Both sides turn forward together.
Hell yeah.
I welded in, bolt in C-notch, put a couple bolts in it to locate it, and then welded it in. I do need to
Ball
adjust.
stops on there. Okay.
With this bracket, I need to adjust this side back, the axles further forward on this side than that side.
There's a ghost over there.
Yep.
This isn't. This is obviously aftermarket, right?
That's aftermarket. That's a CPP.
Classic
bracket.
Performance Products.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
For
it.
the ladder bars, and then
For the
what kind
shocks.
what kind of shocks are these?
Those are just, I think the rears are, KYB.
Okay.
It's like their, it's the better KYBs. The front, I'm running Monroe's Severe Service. I think those are the heaviest duty kind of standard replacement shock
Okay.
available. And then in the back, the KYBs, these are actually for like they're for a bunch of stuff, but like a Tacoma.
Oh.
And the KYBs are supposed to be really good for these when they're lowered.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that.
So that's like forum research, I guess. This thing is
He's
going
doing all
to
the
be
research for you guys. You don't have to.
trying to. This thing's going to be like a 5.7 drop.
5.7. Okay, equal to a 5.7 drop. Got it.
We'll see how it looks when it's done. It's going to be 5.7 and change. I've got what do I have? I have 2-inch lowering blocks, 6-inch drop springs, but supposedly they only actually drop it like 5.5 inches.
Okay.
And then in the front, I've got, what do I have? 2-inch drop springs, 3-inch drop spindles. So about 5.7, and if I'm not happy with it, I'm going to level the rear to match the front.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to spend big money on coilovers and stuff. In front spring and shock, I've probably got like $200, and in rear spring and shock, I've probably got $120.
That's not bad at all.
I wanted to spend the money on like this cross member, things that would make the truck more stable.
Yeah. 'Cause
Versus, I'm not really seeking crazy handling. I am planning to put sway bars on it, but I just want it to drive nice. I don't need a crazy track truck or anything like that.
Okay, because your goal with this truck is to be your mobile, like work truck, right? Because you do a lot of mobile electronics and car work. So this is going to be your shop, but work vehicle.
So that's one of the goals, is that this will be able to be used for that. When I bought the truck, that was the main goal for it. I was doing more mobile repair, and then over the last year, I've built a relationship with a shop, Dave's Crew Cap, and I'm doing more work for him and less mobile work in general.
Okay.
So depending on where the future leads me, I'd like to be able to work out of this, and then my real goal is for this to be my daily driver for the next 10-ish years, and when my daughter turns 16 or 17, for this to be like her senior year high school truck.
That's going to be sick, dude.
Got to make sure that she knows better than to, appreciate a Honda Civic or something.
Yeah, right. So it looks like you're getting ready to run fuel lines. What tank is this? Because this isn't a normal C10 tank, is it?
No, so this is out of I don't remember the year. This is out of a TBI G series van.
Oh, a van. Okay.
So there are several good tanks for these trucks that are like approaching $1,000 by the time you buy the tank and the sending unit and everything to go with it. I'm trying to do this on a budget. To me, this would be like the budget end of a frame off. I'm going stock brakes, Explorer axle with stock Explorer brakes, trying to be cost effective without sacrificing the drivability or the quality.
Yeah, you're doing it right, but on a budget.
Yeah. So this tank was one of the things where I did a lot of research, did a lot of measuring, forum searching, and I didn't actually find anybody who used this tank in this chassis. I found someone who used this tank in a square body chassis.
Okay.
And after getting some measurements online, I was pretty sure it would work. I did have to trim the frame rails on the bottom of the frame rails. I probably trimmed about 3/4 of an inch on both sides to make room for it. I'm not really concerned, since it's after the axle, that does anything significant for the structural stability of the truck.
Yeah, you still got. I mean, you got this aftermarket bar now. You got two. Still got two of these, so it should be fine.
But this is for, I want to say, a late '90s. It might be an early '90s G Series Chevy van.
Okay.
And a TBI sending unit to go with it, and then I've got a factory replacement Z28 fuel pump in it, which is a bolt-in for the sender. Sticking with the whole budget thing, bolt-in for the sender, and will be enough for how mild the drivetrain is.
Okay.
If I ever need more, I'll be able to drop the tank pretty easily.
Okay.
Put the truck up in the air, drop the tank pretty easily, and I can put a bigger, like a Walbro 255 or something in it.
Okay.
I guess moving to the rest of the fuel system, right, I'm going to use the Corvette filter regulator. I did spend the money to buy a good Wix unit.
For the filter. Okay.
Yeah, the Chinese knockoffs sometimes have fuel pressure stability problems, I've read. So.
Gotcha.
And then I'm just going to be doing Amazon special. I think it's Evil Energy.
Evil Energy. Yep.
TFE.
That's what's all over the Corvette.
It works.
If
I've
it
had
works.
really, really good luck with it. I've used it on a couple customer vehicles at the shop. No, I have never had a fitting leak except one, and it was a swivel fitting that was like a quality control issue. It wasn't put together tight.
Gotcha.
And,
Okay.
And I've never had a fuel one leak. That was a Dash 10 oil fitting.
Yeah, I've had nothing but good luck with these either. So hell yeah.
I think like doing a good safety inspection's necessary, but I've had really good luck with it. We're just going to do a deadhead setup, just like a C5 Corvette would be set up, an LS1 would be set up.
No return, right?
The return's at the back of the truck, right?
Well, Corvettes have a returnless fuel system.
A returnless fuel
Yeah,
system?
because my C6
Is yours also returnless?
Yeah, my C6 is returnless.
Okay, I wasn't sure how late they went with that. Yeah, so it's essentially the same.
Okay.
I have a Corvette regulator. I think that's an LS1 part, but I could be mistaken.
Okay.
And basically, supply, return. I'm going to run the hoses something like this. Both of them. This one will also 180. Come over, go down to the supply. I think it'll be fairly clean. I wanted this to be in a location that was serviceable, but not somewhere where it was going to be a hindrance in the end.
A nightmare. Yeah.
I just wanted it to be clean. And I
Well,
think
yeah, I
this is the
mean,
best way to do that.
for sure, because then now you can jack the truck up, and then you can get at this because there's still tons of room, obviously.
Yeah.
You can easily get to that, so easy, fix if you need to. So hell yeah.
And then I'm planning to run the exhaust outside the frame. We'll come up, probably right here, maybe right here. Cabs. We'll see where the cab ends up.
Yeah.
Come over the frame, 2.5-inch exhaust, and come back, and the exhaust will be outside.
Okay.
So the exhaust clearance isn't going to be an issue.
You could always run boom tubes.
Maybe.
Not for a daily. That'd be a lot. All right, so you got a really trick front end in this thing. So let's go over all these parts, because I know there's a lot of stuff on this that I'm actually really, really jealous of, and I'm thinking about maybe doing something like this on my C30. So let's go through the whole thing, because I know you did a bunch of custom work, and there's a bunch of aftermarket parts on it. So let's just get into that.
So these trucks came with a steering gearbox that would have mounted outside the frame right here, and a complicated steering arrangement with a idler arm and a pitman arm and a center link and inner and outer tie rods. And those systems can drive well, but they never drive great, in my opinion.
It's always a lot of slop.
Yeah, there's always a little bit of slop, and anybody who's been in one knows that the rack and pinion feel is way better than any kind of steering gear system. It's the same in a Chevelle. It's the same in a Mustang. Anybody that's upgraded to rack and pinion steering doesn't regret it. So I started looking online. The kits all run $1,500 plus to do that in this chassis. And I was able to learn that a lot of those kits use a 99 to 06 Silverado Tahoe steering rack. So after looking at a lot of pictures, taking some measurements, I determined what height I believe the rack needs to be at. I'm hoping that it's pretty close. I don't have bump steer issues. If I do, I may have to take it apart and do some more modification to eliminate bump steer. I'll have to let the world know if this worked and do some better measurements.
Yeah, we'll have to check back on that.
Height. But I really wanted to be able to use all like off-the-shelf parts. So this is a 99 to 06 steering rack. The only modification I had to make is I had to move this bracket in. You can see my welds are fantastic. This metal was weird to weld. I mounted it on a piece of tube with a thick washer at the end. Piece of tube sank in, welded it real hot. I had the thing hot with a torch before I welded it because I wanted good penetration. The rack, other than that, is stock. I did notch the frame for it. The tie rod, the inner tie rods, I had to trim about 3/4 of an inch off of in order to use these, I think 01 to 05 Ford Explorer tie rod ends that have the correct size and degree taper for the knuckles I'm using, the spindles I'm using, and the correct thread for this steering rack. I spent a couple hours with a moved part catalog to figure out that was probably going to work.
Ford Explorer tie rod ends, Ford Explorer rear end. Dang, okay.
So in full disclosure, these are not the spindles for this truck. These are square body spindles. These are square body drop spindles. eBay special that I think are CPP knockoffs.
Okay.
So it may not work with a 71 style, with a 67 to 72. I know there's different tie rod ends. It may not work with all of those year spindles, but if you go to square body spindles, which are very affordable if you're going to disc brakes anyway, this setup should work. Everything bolts up. I had to shorten the inner tie rod ends because otherwise I was stuck at toe out. They bottom out too soon.
Gotcha.
There's still tons of meat. Like these are almost completely bottomed out on the inner tie rod already. They can't go in much more, so if anything I'll have to trim more, and there's tons of meat. There's no strength issue.
Gotcha. Okay, well that's good to know. You did the work for everybody on YouTube, so they can just order the part number.
Trying to. Like, there's definitely some fab involved. That's the cool thing with the off-the-shelf kits is there's no fab involved, right? It bolts on.
You save hundreds of dollars doing it this way if you have a little bit of skill.
Yeah, for sure. The only other negative to doing a rack conversion is I'm going to have an idler here somewhere on a like 2-piece intermediate steering
Gotcha.
shaft.
Okay.
So I'll have to spend some money with Orcus to make that happen.
Okay.
But I think I'm still going to be probably under $500 into this steering rack setup.
That's not bad at all.
You can spend $2,000 accomplishing the same thing with kits.
Yeah.
Not knocking the kits. I think they're good products.
Yeah.
I think most of these companies that sell these kits make good products that are great for garage guys. But I'm trying to match my wallet's speed. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and you got you said square body drop spindles with the brakes, and then you got eBay special control arms, right?
Yes, also for a square body.
Okay.
They sell, I think the whole kit was $420 or something.
That's not bad at all for tubular control arms. And these things are beefy. I helped them install them. They are solid.
They are solid.
Like, it took both of us, granted that there's no weight in the frame, but I had to sit on the frame and hold that while he shoved the shock with a jack up into there. It's solid.
Delrin bushings. The ball joints are supposedly not like the finest quality in the world, especially the uppers, so I won't be too surprised if I end up replacing those before too long.
Okay.
But square body ball joints aren't real expensive.
Yeah.
Like you could spend another $100 in good move problem solver ball joints.
Easy day.
And find somebody with a hydraulic press and have an easy day. Because it's easy to take all this stuff off the truck if you have to.
100%.
You don't have to do it on the truck.
Yeah. And you said what shocks were these again?
They're Monroe.
For this truck or for something else?
They're severe service. They're for this truck because I'm only doing they're for this truck because the square body control arms are an almost identical design.
Okay.
The only thing that really does change between actually I think the 63 C10 and all the way through the square body is ball joint sizes and tie rod ball joint sizes.
Okay.
Everything got beefier on the later trucks.
And then see, this is a Willwood. I assume this is like a proportioning valve, right?
Yeah, just for proportioning valve.
Okay, that's pretty sick.
I wanted.
Is it gonna be manual or power brakes?
It's gonna be Hydro Boost.
Hydro Boost. Okay, cool.
Hydro Boost power brakes.
Hell yeah.
I wanted to keep the brake system simple. The front brake lines were in good shape, so I didn't spend money remaking them.
Okay.
Why do that? I just pressure washed, cleaned up, and painted everything.
Yeah, it looks good, man. What paint did you use again? It was a...
That's a satin Rust-Oleum.
Satin Rust-Oleum, okay.
If I could do it again, the Rust-Oleum adhered really well to everything, but if I could do it again, I think I'd use like a Rust-Oleum primer, wait like 10 or 12 hours, and then use
it's an SEM,
like an
right?
SEM product or something. SEM, I've used some of SEM's, like I think they have a trim black and a chassis black, and I've been really impressed with the appearance quality of that paint, and it is durable once it's dried. I think the Rust-Oleum adheres slightly better to less than perfect surfaces like this frame was. This frame was a big project to clean, and I had some help cleaning it and pressure washing it, but it was a big project to clean, and it's definitely wasn't perfect when I painted it. Like, I
mean, you can't really tell. It looks great.
10 hours in painting it.
It looks
and
great.
There's definitely still grease in nooks and crannies.
Fair. Okay, so this is the frame, obviously the skeleton of every car, the base, whatever you want to call it. Nick also has a 4.8, so if you guys couldn't tell, this is an LS motor. This is going to be the heart of the truck. And tell us about this.
So, budget, again, having been the driving thing, I found a 4.8 and a 700R. I'm sorry, a 4.8 and a 4L60E on Facebook Marketplace. I paid $900 for both.
Not bad.
Unfortunately, found that the 4.8 it appears to have spun the front main bearing and scored the block, but it didn't really eat the block. Everything spec'd very round, so I took a die grinder and I cleaned the block up just where that score is. Check tolerances with a what is that tool? Bore gauge, basically. Check tolerances. Everything specs out really, really nice. So we're gonna run it. New oil pump, new gaskets, everything. I am actually gonna pull the accessories and everything off of this, and it's gonna get some orange paint.
Old small block Chevy paint.
Yeah, the whole vibe, like, this is an eBay intake. It's a knockoff, I think, of a Holly intake. As you can tell, I'm a big, like, eBay, Amazon special.
Hey man, if it works, it works.
It has worked really well for me with all the Chevy LS stuff. There are things I wouldn't trust with it, but if you get a part like this intake and the fitment's bad, you send it back. Like, fitment was great, so it's still on the truck.
Run it.
It's still on the motor. I'm actually going to be doing like an old school intake air cleaner on this.
Oh, with the snout and everything on it?
It's going to be a double snout.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like late 60s Corvette style.
That's going to be sick.
And it's going to be drive-by-wire. Holly makes that air cleaner that works with that. There's a little bit of a splurge, but I really wanted, you pop the hood, and yes, it's an LS, but it has that kind of OG small block vibe.
Old school
and
look.
Everything's super clean. Like, I really wanted everything to be super, super clean. So that's kind of where we have ended up with it. I'm going to pull stuff apart. I'm going to paint a bunch of stuff orange. I might get an ICT billet bracket to replace this because it just doesn't suit how nice the rest of the...
You don't want your alternator in the atmosphere?
It's not even so much the position of it. It'd be nice if it goes down a little bit, but I just think this bracket's hideous.
Yeah, it is.
I don't really want to paint it orange. I don't really want to spend 2 or 3 hours cleaning it up to make it look smooth. Yeah,
because I mean, this thing is huge. You probably will do some weight saving, which I mean, that's not really, whatever, but it's huge, and orange would just make it pop more.
Yeah.
So, that's fair.
Yeah. So I think that's going to go away. I'll get a nice either black or maybe billet aluminum.
ICT billet is awesome. I used it on my old C10.
Yeah, I have one of their brackets on my Caprice for the AC compressor, which is also a 5.3 LS spot, and their stuff is great. Like, no complaints.
Hell yeah.
Stuff works great.
Okay. Transmission is a 4L60, right?
The transmission I have, Sorry, we're doing a garage renovation.
All good.
The transmission is a 4L60E, unknown condition, have not yet pulled the pan. I'm really seriously thinking about buying a 6L80 for the truck.
Dude, that'd be sick.
There's a couple of used ones at decent price on Marketplace right now. It would be a splurge, but I think it would band-aid the lackluster power numbers that a 4.8 is going to make without hurting my gas mileage. Because that was part of the goal of this, was to be able to have like a muscle truck that I could drive a lot and would get okay gas mileage. So if I go with the 6L80, 6 gear is a little bit taller, so a little bit lower RPM.
With 373 posies, so I mean, that's not too bad.
Yeah, so I think I could cruise 75, right? Southern California, everybody's doing 70 to 80 miles an hour. I think I could safely cruise 7,500, 2,500 RPM with the 6L80. And then first gear is like just for burnout, so getting the truck moving would be no problem.
Yeah, easy.
That's an exaggeration. Getting the truck moving would be no problem. So, and I'd actually have a vehicle that could do a little bit of a burnout, because my other project does not. It's too heavy.
We got to change that.
Yeah, we do got to change that.
Okay, cool. Well, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to tag Nick as a collaborator in this video, and obviously he can see it, so he can see the comments about part numbers and this and that if you guys have any questions. But this is just a pretty much simple video on how to turn a C20 long bed into a short bed C10, because I think there was a lot more long bed C20s than there was short bed C10s, and all the C10s are big dollar. So this is a really easy, budget friendly way to do it. And he goes through and he did all the hard work for you, all the research. Everything looks great. It's going to turn out great. It's going to run great, and then it's going to be a great little daily driver.
Yeah. I'd say mid-budget. It started as low budget, but mid-budget daily.
Yeah, but I mean, if you go buy a C10 long bed or to go buy a C10 short bed, your minimum spending $15,000 for one that runs and drives.
And you couldn't, as nice as I intend for this to be, I'll be like 15 to 18 grand into it, I think.
Yeah, but it's frame off restoration, Holley, 4.8,
Yeah.
potentially a 6L80, really good fuel tank, really good suspension, lowered, everything. So yeah, it's going to be sick.
You couldn't buy one that's going to be as nice as this is for less than like probably 30 grand.
Yeah, exactly. So
Maybe more.
it's going to be perfect. All right, well, yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll tag our social medias, his Instagram and everything. And yeah, you guys have any questions, let us know, and we'll... Well, I'm going to leave that in. I just completely threw the camera. So yeah, where was I? We'll see you guys later. See you in the next one.